Have you noticed that your twin flame doesn't cross your mind the way they used to? There was a time when their presence consumed you. You woke up thinking of them, fell asleep whispering their name, and every dream, every song, every sign in the universe seemed to echo their energy. But lately, things feel different. The intensity is fading, the constant thoughts are quieting, and a strange calm has replaced the chaos. And deep down, you might be wondering, is this the end of our connection? Have they moved on? Or am I finally finding peace within myself? That uncertainty can feel like losing a part of your soul, and yet, something inside whispers that this silence means something sacred. In today's video, we'll explore the hidden truth behind this mysterious quiet phase, what it really means when your twin flame's energy begins to fade from your awareness. You'll understand the energetic shifts happening between you both, the role of divine timing, and why this silence is not separation, but transformation. We'll uncover how this stage is designed by the universe to pull you inward away from obsession toward balance, self-love, and spiritual alignment. By the end of this reflection, you'll see that what feels like loss is actually the beginning of a higher reunion, the one that starts within your soul. If you stay with me until the end, you'll no longer fear the quiet. You'll begin to recognize it as the sacred pause, the stillness that allows your heart to heal, your energy to realign, and your spirit to ascend. You'll learn how to trust this process rather than resist it, how to listen to the universe's whispers instead of the ego's panic, and how to see this phase as preparation, not punishment. By embracing this new awareness, you will shift from clinging to connection to becoming the connection, a being of divine love in perfect harmony with your twin flame soul. So stay until the very end, because today's message may just change the way you see your entire twin flame journey forever. Section 1. The shift from obsession to surrender. In the beginning stages of twin flame separation, your mind takes complete control. You find yourself trapped in a loop of endless questions and emotional replay. You go over every word that was said, every message sent, every moment shared, trying to decode its meaning. You analyze their silence as if it were a secret language, searching for clues in every detail. You look for signs in numbers, songs, and synchronicities, praying for confirmation that this connection was not a dream but something divinely real. Yet the more your mind grasps for answers, the more exhausted your spirit becomes. The longing, once romantic and passionate, begins to feel like an invisible weight pressing down on your chest. It consumes your energy until even the smallest thought of them stirs a deep ache within. But something begins to change. Slowly, quietly, almost imperceptibly at first, peace begins to seep through the cracks of your longing. The intensity fades, not because the love is gone, but because your soul can no longer sustain that level of attachment. You find yourself thinking about them less frequently, and when you do, the thoughts are softer, less desperate. You start caring more about your inner stillness than about what they are doing or feeling. You begin to understand that your healing is not dependent on their presence, but on your own willingness to surrender to the divine process. This is the sacred moment when the universe steps in. The fog of obsession begins to lift, and your awareness turns inward. You start recognizing that the connection has always been about something greater than the physical union. It is about your return to your own divinity. It's not that you stop loving your twin flame. Rather, you begin loving yourself again, in the purest and most unconditional way. The desperate energy that once reached outward begins to spiral inward, nourishing the places within you that were starving for love, validation, and peace. The energy between you and your twin starts to shift in response. Where there was once frantic chasing, now there is trust. Where there was fear of losing, now there is faith in divine timing. You learn that surrender does not mean defeat. It is not about walking away from love, it is about walking toward wholeness. Surrender means releasing control and allowing the sacred intelligence of the universe to guide the next steps of your journey. You begin to see that separation was never punishment, but preparation, a divine pause designed to bring both souls into alignment with their highest selves. And as this realization deepens, your energy becomes lighter, freer, and more magnetic. You no longer cling to the idea of reunion. Instead, you become the embodiment of peace itself. The universe responds to this inner transformation, mirroring your surrender with synchronicities that now feel like gentle affirmations rather than desperate cries for validation. The obsession dissolves, and what remains is a calm awareness, a knowing that love never truly leaves. It simply transforms. In this space of surrender, you step into your true power. You no longer chase after signs or outcomes because you have become one with the flow of divine timing. You begin to understand that every delay was grace, every silence was guidance, and every heartbreak was the universe redirecting you toward your highest purpose. And in that stillness, you realize the truth surrender is not the end of the connection. It is the beginning of divine union, both within yourself and, in time, with your twin flame. If you've reached this point, take a deep breath and honor how far you've come. The shift from obsession to surrender is not easy. It's one of the most profound spiritual transitions you'll ever experience. So, before we move forward, I invite you to pause and reflect. What part of your journey are you in right now? Are you still holding on tightly, or are you learning to let go and trust the flow of divine timing? Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. Your story might be the light that helps someone else find peace too. And if these words resonate with your heart, simply type, "I surrender to divine timing" as your affirmation below. Let that be your soul's declaration, a reminder that you are no longer chasing love, but aligning with it. Section 2. Learning to trust the stillness. When your thoughts about your twin flame begin to quiet, it's not a sign that the connection has disappeared. In truth, it's evidence that the energy between you is shifting into a higher vibration. The universe understands that no soul can sustain constant energetic intensity. It would burn you out emotionally, mentally, and even physically. So, it grants you a sacred pause. This stillness is not absence. It is divine orchestration. It's the space you need to breathe again, to recalibrate, and to remember who you are outside of the bond. You are being invited to release the addiction to intensity and rediscover the serenity that exists within your own soul. In this period of quiet, a different kind of transformation begins to unfold. It's softer, slower, but far more powerful. Instead of chasing answers or signs, you start to turn inward. The noise of longing fades into the background, and in its place emerges a gentle awareness, a whisper from your higher self, guiding you toward peace. You start noticing that the stillness, which once terrified you, now feels like home. You realize that this silence is not punishment, but preparation. The universe is preparing you for deeper alignment, not through effort or control, but through surrender. As days go by, you begin to sense a new kind of balance forming within. The desperate urge to control the outcome eases, replaced by a quiet trust in divine timing. You no longer look for your twin flame in every dream or every sign, because you've begun to recognize that the real journey was never about them. It was always about you, about healing the parts of yourself that were wounded, about reclaiming your power, and about learning that true union starts from within. Through this stillness, you start to rebuild your identity not as a seeker longing for completion, but as a soul remembering its wholeness. The obsessive pull that once consumed you softens into gentle remembrance. You begin to love them without clinging, to feel their energy without craving, to honor the connection without losing yourself in it. The quiet teaches you that love does not always roar. Sometimes it hums softly beneath the surface, steady and eternal. This silence becomes your greatest teacher. It whispers lessons of divine patience, reminding you that what is meant for you will never pass you by. It teaches you self-trust, the knowing that your intuition, your healing, and your timing are divinely guided. And most beautifully, it teaches surrender not as giving up, but as giving into the flow of divine intelligence that knows exactly what your soul needs. You start to see your twin not as the missing half of your being, but as a mirror reflecting your own evolution. You understand that every phase, the obsession, the separation, the silence was never about losing love, but about refining it. This newfound peace doesn't come from the absence of connection, but from the presence of understanding. You are not waiting anymore. You are becoming. The stillness has taught you that love, when aligned with the divine, is never lost, it simply transforms. Section 3. The purpose of karmic detours. One of the most common and painful questions on the twin flame journey is this: what if my twin flame is with someone else? How can they be in another relationship when their soul is tied to mine? The answer, as hard as it may be to accept, lies in the sacred design of divine contracts. Karmic relationships are not accidents. They are not punishments. They are divinely orchestrated detours meant to refine both souls for union. These connections are not barriers on the path. They are catalysts that propel the journey forward in ways the ego cannot yet understand. Karmic partners appear when there are unfinished stories to complete threads of past lives that still need closure. Your twin may have unhealed wounds tied to themes of loyalty, abandonment, self-worth, or power. Through their karmic relationship, they are presented with situations that force these wounds to the surface so they can finally be released. They may learn boundaries through betrayal, compassion through loss, or forgiveness through hardship. Every tear, every conflict, every ending in those connections is part of a sacred cleansing process, dissolving old energetic contracts that no longer serve their evolution. And while your twin flame navigates those lessons, you are given your own form of sacred schooling solitude. This is where your greatest growth takes place. It is in the silence of separation that you begin to rediscover your strength. You learn what unconditional love truly means, not the kind that clings, but the kind that trusts. You begin to value your own energy, realizing that your worth was never tied to another person's choices or presence. In this phase, you awaken your independence, your creative purpose, and your spiritual sovereignty. You are no longer defined by what your twin is doing, but by who you are becoming. These karmic detours are divinely balanced. As your twin learns through relationships, you learn through reflection. As they work through external experiences, you work through internal healing. Both paths are part of the same sacred equation, preparing you to meet again on higher ground, where love is no longer distorted by fear or dependency. So, instead of asking, when will he leave the karmic? Begin asking, what am I meant to learn right now? This shift in perspective transforms waiting into wisdom and pain into purpose. Remember, divine timing is never delayed, it is precise. The karmic relationship does not block your union, it builds it. Every detour serves a purpose, every lesson carries a gift, and every separation is setting the foundation for a purer form of connection. When both souls have integrated their lessons, the universe orchestrates the reunion effortlessly, without resistance or force. So trust this process. What seems like distance is actually alignment in progress. The universe never wastes an experience. Every karmic detour, yours or your twins, is part of the sacred choreography of love, guiding both souls toward the same destination. Divine union rooted not in need, but in truth. Imagine a woman named Elena, a divine feminine who awakened first to the connection. Her twin flame, Daniel, seemed to recognize her soul instantly, yet after a brief, intense connection, he pulled away and entered another relationship. For months, Elena was devastated. She couldn't understand how someone who shared such deep spiritual recognition could turn toward someone else. Every part of her wanted to intervene, to explain, to fight for what she knew was real. But no matter what she tried, the universe kept redirecting her back to herself, back to solitude, back to silence. At first, it felt like abandonment, but with time she began to see it differently. Through her loneliness, Elena learned to build her own foundation. She found strength in meditation, purpose in creativity, and peace in her own energy. Meanwhile, Daniel's karmic relationship became a mirror of everything he had avoided within himself. The dynamic forced him to face his control issues, his fear of vulnerability, and his tendency to choose safety over authenticity. Every argument, every disappointment in that relationship was a divine lesson designed to strip away his ego and open his heart to real love. Years later, when their paths crossed again, the energy between them had completely changed. There was no longer fear, dependency, or emotional chaos, only calm recognition. Elena no longer needed Daniel to feel complete, and Daniel no longer needed to run to feel free. Their karmic detours had served their purpose. Both had evolved into the versions of themselves capable of sustaining divine union. This story reminds us that karmic detours are not punishment, they are sacred preparation. The universe does not separate you to break you, it separates you to strengthen you. Just like Elena and Daniel, both souls must walk through their own flames before they can stand together in the light. So when you find yourself questioning why things unfolded the way they did, remember, every delay is divine alignment in disguise. Section 4. When your twin pretends they don't love you. There are few experiences more painful than watching your twin flame act as though you don't exist. Their silence echoes louder than words ever could. The distance feels unbearable. You replay every moment in your mind, wondering what went wrong, questioning how something so divinely profound could suddenly feel so cold. But beneath this silence, there is a deeper truth waiting to be understood. This is not rejection, it is fear. The twin flame connection demands radical honesty and vulnerability. It pulls both souls into a mirror so clear that every illusion, every wound, and every fragment of the ego is exposed. For the one who is not yet ready to face themselves, that level of truth can be terrifying. Your twin is not running from you, they are running from their own reflection. They are resisting the depth of emotion that forces them to feel everything they've spent a lifetime suppressing. Sometimes they pretend not to love you because the love is too overwhelming. It threatens the stability of their world, the comfort of their routines, and the identity they've built to survive. For some, loving you means surrendering everything they've ever known, and that surrender feels like death to the ego. So instead, they shut down, they retreat, they act indifferent because indifference feels safer than vulnerability. They convince themselves that ignoring you will make the feelings fade, yet deep down, the connection only grows stronger. You might see them in another relationship, posting pictures that seem happy and content. But look beyond the surface, and you'll sense the truth. The energy never lies. They can silence their voice, but not their soul. At night, in their quiet moments, their heart still whispers your name. They still feel the magnetic pull, the unspoken recognition, the same ache you do. Pretending not to love you is still an act of love. It's love disguised as fear, hidden beneath layers of emotional armor. Your task during this phase is not to chase, prove, or plead. It is to stand in your knowing. This stage teaches you the power of detachment with love, to hold space for your twin's growth without abandoning your own. Every time you choose peace over panic, you send a wave of healing energy toward them. Every time you trust the divine timing instead of the illusion of separation, the invisible thread between your souls strengthens. Eventually, when the fears dissolve and the soul is ready, the mask will fall away. The truth will resurface, unshaken by distance or time. Because real love, the kind born from divine union, never truly disappears. It waits patiently beneath the surface, ready to rise again when both souls have found the courage to meet each other in truth. So, when your twin flame pretends they don't love you, remember this: you are witnessing their fear, not their truth. Trust the silence, honor the pause, and know that even in separation, your connection continues to evolve. The love that once brought you together is still working behind the scenes, healing, transforming, and preparing you both for the moment when the soul finally remembers that love was never lost, only hidden until the heart was ready to see it again. If you've made it this far, take a deep breath and let these words sink in. This moment of reflection isn't just about understanding your twin flame's silence, it's about reconnecting with your own strength and compassion. Ask yourself, what is this experience teaching me about unconditional love, patience, and surrender? Because even in the stillness, the universe is speaking to you. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Has your twin flame ever pretended not to love you? How did that silence shape your growth? Share your story in the comments below, or simply affirm your healing by typing, "I trust the divine timing of our connection." Your words might be exactly what another soul needs to read today. So take a moment, reflect from your heart, and let your energy ripple through this community of awakening souls. Section 5. The return of alignment and peace. After the storm of longing and surrender, there comes a sacred stillness, a space where everything begins to settle into divine order. You no longer wake up with that heavy ache in your chest or the urge to check if they've reached out. Instead, there is peace, quiet, grounded, expansive peace. The energy between you and your twin begins to rise once more, but this time, it's not born from craving or attachment. It flows naturally from a place of calm recognition and soul maturity. You begin to feel their presence not as a wound, but as a warmth. You think of them, and instead of tears, a soft smile graces your face. This is the shift from human love to divine love, a love that no longer grasps or demands, but simply is. It's pure, detached, and unconditional. It carries no expectations, no pressure, no stories of what could have been. It simply exists as light, a quiet knowing that what is meant for you will never miss you. This is the essence of higher vibrational union energy. The cords of attachment transform into threads of divine connection. You begin to embody your wholeness, radiating an inner harmony that makes your energy magnetic once again. And in this sacred alignment, something extraordinary often happens. The universe mirrors your peace. The one who once withdrew might suddenly reappear, a simple message, a song that plays at the perfect moment, a dream that feels too real to ignore. These are not coincidences, they are reflections of resonance. When you heal, your twin feels it. When you release the need to control, the universe flows freely again, carrying your energy back to its natural state of attraction. You see, it was never about chasing or convincing them to return. It was always about returning to yourself, to your divine center, to the love that never depended on anyone else. The more you let go, the more your twin feels your absence not as rejection, but as space, the sacred space where their own healing begins. Your peace becomes the invitation, your light becomes the call, and as you continue to align with your higher self, the entire connection rises with you, harmonizing into the frequency of unconditional love. In this stage, reunion, whether physical or energetic, happens effortlessly. It's not something you create through force, it's something you allow through surrender. You become the embodiment of peace, and in that vibration, love naturally finds its way home. Section 6. The dance of energetic balance. There comes a mysterious and almost poetic moment on the twin flame journey, the moment when you finally stop thinking about your twin so much, and somehow, that's when they start thinking about you more. It's not manipulation or mind games. It's the natural law of energetic balance. The universe seeks harmony in all things, and so does your connection. When your energy stops radiating waves of longing or desperation, it shifts into peace, and your twin begins to feel that peace echoing within their own soul. Your silence becomes magnetic. The stillness you've created within yourself becomes a mirror that reflects back to them what they've been avoiding. Suddenly, they might feel a strong pull toward you again, not out of obligation, but out of resonance. They might find themselves dreaming of you, hearing your name in random conversations, or feeling sudden surges of nostalgia. Perhaps they remember the way your laughter sounded, or they stumble upon something that reminds them of the bond you once shared. None of this is coincidence. It's energetic communication, the silent language of souls that are deeply intertwined. Twin flames are connected beyond physical reality. This connection doesn't respond to logic, distance, or time. It responds to vibration. When you are in turmoil, your energy transmits confusion. But when you return to balance, when you find calm, acceptance, and joy in your own being, that frequency becomes a beacon of light. The energetic chords between you hum in harmony once more, and your twin naturally feels that shift. They sense safety in your peace, even if they can't explain why. This is why focusing on self-healing is never wasted effort. Every tear you release, every boundary you set, every moment you choose self-love over fear, all of it creates ripples that move through the energetic bond. You don't need to chase, convince, or wait. The energy itself will do the work. The more you align with your true self, the more your connection aligns with divine order. In this dance of energetic balance, you learn that love doesn't demand constant effort to prove its existence. True love, the kind that exists between twin flames, thrives in equilibrium. When you find peace within, the universe responds. Your twin begins their own process of awakening, drawn not by your longing, but by your light. And that is the quiet miracle of this journey. You heal yourself, and in doing so, you help them heal too. The twin flame journey has never been about clinging, chasing, or waiting endlessly for someone else to complete you. It is, at its very essence, a sacred initiation into the deepest layers of your own soul. Every silence, every pause, every space between you and your twin is not emptiness. It is divine intelligence, creating room for transformation. You are not being punished by distance. You are being refined by love. When the thoughts of your twin begin to fade and the intensity that once consumed you softens into stillness, this is not the end of connection, it is the evolution of it. You are learning how to love without fear, how to breathe without grasping, how to feel without needing. This is love becoming pure, patient, and free. It's no longer about holding on, it's about allowing. The stillness that once frightened you is now your greatest teacher. It whispers that true union is not found through chasing another person, but through returning home to your own heart. The more you align with your own peace, the more your energy harmonizes with divine timing. In this quiet surrender, your souls communicate in ways words could never reach through light, intuition, and silent understanding across realms. So when everything grows quiet, do not doubt the bond, honor it. Smile at the silence, and trust that what is meant for you is already aligning in unseen ways. The universe does not rush what it is perfecting. You are not losing your twin flame. You are learning how to carry their essence within you. You are learning to love in its truest form, without attachment, without expectation, without fear. Let this be your reminder. Real love doesn't chase, it breathes. Type this in the comments below if this message spoke to your soul. And if you felt peace or clarity through this reflection, take a moment to like this video, share it with another soul who needs healing, and explore the next video below the screen. It may hold the message your heart has been waiting for, because the journey doesn't end here. It is still unfolding, breath by breath, teaching you that even in silence, your souls are still holding hands quietly, eternally, and in divine perfection.